We all know that the ocean is deep, but do you know how deep it actually is? If you start placing all the land present on the planet inside the ocean, then the entire land will be covered just in 2 miles deep. We already know that 3 by 4th of our planet is covered with water. So now just let's get into the water and see how deep it actually is. The first milestone is at 40 meters below the surface, which is the maximum depth allowed for recreational scuba diving. And at 93 meters is where the wreck of Lusitania was discovered, which is interesting because Lusitania is itself 240 meters long. Just slightly under that, at 100 meters, diving becomes serious if you are not careful. But a man named Herbert Nitsch has made free diving world record at a depth of 214 meters. He just swam down to this level with only one single breath. And next there is Ahmad Gabbar, who has made a world record in scuba diving at 332 meters. If we go down further to 443 meters, it would be the height of Empire State Building if it is submerged underwater. Now moving down to 500 meters, it is the maximum depth of diving by the blue whales, which are the largest creatures on the planet, and also the limit of US Seawolf class submarine. As we move little further, it is the maximum dive depth of the emperor penguins. At this point, the water pressure inserted on a person or the penguins will be equal to the polar bear standing on a coin. And if we go deeper to 830 meters, it will be the height of Burj Khalifa placed upside down in the water. Moving more deeper down, the ocean starts becoming darker and darker. When we go to 1000 meters, nothing will be seen down there. The water pressure you would have experienced at this point will be the same as if you are standing on the surface of planet Venus. It means you are gonna die soon. And if you are luckily not killed by the water pressure, then you can meet the giant squid. At 1280 meters, we would reach the maximum depth dived by the leatherback sea turtle. And further down at 1828 meters, we reach the deepest point of Grand Canyon if placed underwater. At 2000 meters, we can find a carnivorous beast named black dragonfish, which doesn't allow light to be emitted through it. As it is full of darkness, we can only see this creature using a light. As we go further down to 2250 meters, it is the maximum depth dived by both sperm whales and colossal squid. Sperm whales have scars and marks on its body from the battles with colossal squids at that depth. The squids are so long that they can grow up to 14 meters long and weigh up to 750 kilograms. Further down at 3800 meters, we can find the wreck of the RMS Titanic. And at 4000 meters, we enter the abyssal zone of the ocean. Water pressure down there is equal to 11,000 pounds per square inch. We can also find the most strange creatures here, such as fin-tooth, anglerfish and viperfish. And next, we reach the average depth of the ocean, that is 4267 meters, where we hit the floor. But at some points, we can go even deeper. At 4791 meters, we find the wrecked battleship Bismarck, which sunk during World War II. And at 6000 meters, we enter the huddle zone. The water pressure we can experience here can be 11,000 times the normal water pressure we find on the top of the ocean, which is equal to an elephant balancing on a postage stamp. At 6500 meters, we can reach the maximum depth dived by DSV Elvin. It is a submarine which helped to find out the wrecked ship of Titanic underwater. Way further down, at 8848 meters, we reach the height of Mount Everest, if placed upside down underwater. And further down, at 10,898 meters, we arrive the depth reached by James Cameron in 2012 during the Deep Sea Challenger missions. The deepest point in the ocean reached by humans was in 1960. Two men named Don Welsh and Jacques Piccard reached a depth of 10,916 meters using a submarine named Triste. It took them around 5 hours to reach the depth in the ocean, and they started back in 20 minutes due to a crack on the window of the submarine. Finally, when we hit 10,994 meters, we reached the bottom of the known ocean called Challenger Deep. This place is 300 kilometers southwest from the Guam Island. The second deepest point was discovered in the ocean in 1997, which is called the Serena Deep. There may be more deepest places in the ocean which are currently not discovered. We have explored only 5% of the ocean until now, and the 95% is still unexplored.